video lecture on load flow analysis. We have seen 2 or 3 videos on the load flow analysis, and also in this, in particular, Gauss-Seidel method. In the last class, the method of formulation of Gauss-Seidel method, we have seen the load flow equations we derived for Gauss-Seidel method, and also we have seen the algorithm, that is the procedural steps to determine the load flow solution using Gauss-Seidel method. And we have seen that the method, that is this algorithm or procedural steps for load flow by Gauss-Seidel method, and this method for only PQ buses, that is by assuming only PQ buses, we have seen the steps. Those steps involve first assumption of, that means determination of Y bus quantities or Y bus elements if the line data is given. Next, all the voltages and admittances, that means initial voltage and admittances, are to be substituted in the form of complex numbers, like that. These are the assumptions, and with these assumptions the main steps involved are, as we assumed only load buses right now, the main steps are first determination of Y bus, and next determination of all bus voltages except one bus, that is slack bus. For remaining all bus voltages, determination of bus voltages and angles by using this Gauss-Seidel equation. And after all buses are over and the convergence criterion is also satisfied, now the final steps are determination of left out bus, slack bus, the power of that slack bus, and determination of line loss, that means line flows, power flows in all the lines, computation of line flows. These are all the steps we have seen an example problem also by taking a 4 bus system. This is the Y bus we constructed. First, to start the process, except for slack bus, this is slack bus, from the given data we can notice, except for this slack bus, for remaining buses we have to assume starting voltages. These voltages are to be assumed by us. This is known as initial guess or initial assumption, and the standard recommended method or recommended assumption for these voltages is equal to assume all bus voltages equal to 1 plus J0. This is known as flat voltage profile. If we assume like that, we can get better solution. So like that, assuming all those voltages and using these assumed voltages and this constant slack bus voltage V1, we make use of this equation to calculate V2 of 1, that is fresh value, first iteration value. Similarly V3 of 1 and V4 of 1, like that we calculate. Note that as this is the case for only load buses, we need to calculate bus voltage and angles from this equation. That we did. We also considered acceleration of convergence, that is nothing but a technique to speed out the process of iterations, that means process of convergence. Here we modify this value before substituting in the V3 equation. by using a factor called acceleration factor like this. This modified voltage is substituted here, and again here also the modified voltage of V3 is substituted in the V4 like that. This modified voltage is accelerated voltage. This is for accelerating the speed of conversion. That is about the Gauss-Seidel method for load buses. Now, Gauss-Seidel method when PV buses are also present. This is a generalized method. when PV bus is also present during the process of computation, what we should do? We have already seen in the introduction that when PV bus we encountered with a PV bus, we need to first of all calculate Q. As we know that at PV bus, Q and delta are to be determined. So, first we determine Q, that is reactive power. And by using this Q, we calculate delta, that is bus voltage angle, by using the voltage equation of the previous one. So, that is the process. Same thing is given here. You see, at PV bus P and V are specified. As I said, we have to calculate Q and delta. We have already expressed an equation for Q. This is the Q. This is nothing but imaginary part of this we conjugate into I. Here also the variables are bus voltages, that's all. These voltages. These are all Y bus elements. They are constant, determined in the first step itself. They are constants. So the variables here are bus voltages only. Same thing Q in terms of fresh values of voltages and old values of voltages. This is also derived, explained. Same expression in modified form can be written like this. So this is the expression for Q. If we are at R plus 1th iteration and if we are calculating ith bus Q, then we can substitute up to I minus 1th bus fresh values, same iteration values R plus 1. Beyond that I plus 1, that is I to n, we have to substitute old values, that is R only. Here R plus 1 means fresh or current iteration. R means previous iteration. Previous iteration values of bus voltage are to be substituted. Same thing for voltage equation also we have seen. Here also same thing for Q. So like that, if it is a generator bus or PV bus, we have to calculate Q for that bus and make use of this Q in voltage equation. This is the voltage equation. Here you see, here we are getting this. This is only written in some other form, that's all. Here in this place you use this, then that will be the voltage equation. So in that voltage equation, this calculated value of Q is substituted and calculate the delta. It is anyhow coming in complex form, and in that imaginary part equal to our required value delta. So like that delta can be calculated. So that is the steps. These are the steps for PV bus. Calculate QI and use that QI in calculation of delta. Here one more point we have to consider for generator bus. Here we calculated Q. For this Q, sometimes in problems some limits will be given. The meaning of this limit is, generally at PV bus, what I said, V is specified. P and V, voltage is specified. That is, voltage is specified means given or constant. But the voltage at any bus is sensitive to reactive power demand at that bus. That is, at a particular bus, if there is more demand for reactive power, there is a chance for that bus voltage may drop. may change. If there is more reactive power demand, then the bus voltage may get affected. So like that, bus voltage is sensitive to reactive power demand or reactive power consumption. So for generator bus, if V is given, means there is a condition that Q must be in some limits. It is implied. If it is given in the problem, we have to consider. If it is not given, how we have to treat? The Q is in limits, automatically within the limits. Like that we have to treat. So if V is given as constant, means what it means? The reactive power demand at that bus must be in some limits. Otherwise, there is no meaning for that constant voltage. So that is the reason why for generator bus sometimes reactive power limits will be given. Sometimes if these limits are not given, we can understand that reactive power is in within the limits only. If it is given like this, minimum value and maximum value, Q limits will be given as some minimum value and some maximum value. If those limits are given, then in this calculation of Q, we have to check whether this calculated value of Q is within the limits or not, given limits or not. So first calculate this value, check for the limits. You see, if this calculated value is less than Qi min, less than Qi min, the calculated Qi min means minimum limit of Q, given value. If our calculated value is less than this value, then what it means? Limit is violated. For example, the minimum value is 0.2, and if our calculated value is 0.1, what it means? 0.1 is less than the minimum value. So what it represents? Our calculated value 0.1 is less than the given minimum limit 0.2. It means limit is violated. If Q limit is violated like that, then what we have to do is treat that bus, the bus in our hand, as PQ bus, load bus only. As limit is violated, it cannot be a generator bus or PV bus. So for that iteration, for that particular iteration, treat that bus as load bus. If it is treated as load bus, we have to calculate V and delta by the previous expression. So calculate V and delta by the previous expression. In a similar manner, if maximum limit is also violated, if assume like that, for the time being, if maximum limit is also violated, that is Q calculated value is greater than the maximum limit, given maximum limit, then it is the limit violation of maximum limit. Then also set, you see, treat that bus as load bus by equating calculated value equal to minimum limit, not our calculated value. As it is violated, you forget about that. Now the value of calculated value is to be equal to minimum limit, given minimum limit. Like that you have to set and treat that bus as PQ bus. Here also, if maximum limit is violated, then forget about the calculated value or obtained value. The value of Q is equal to the violated limit. Here maximum limit is violated means that limit. Set equal to that and treat that bus as load bus or PQ bus. If it is treated as load bus, we have to calculate V and delta. Okay, don't confuse. If reactive power limits are given in the problem, then immediately after calculation of this value, check for the limits, given limits. If limits are violated, then set this value equal to violated limit and treat that bus as PQ bus, load bus, that is not generator bus, load bus, and calculate V and delta by using the equation, V equation, this equation. That is the case of the generator bus. That is only the difference. So now this is the example on that particular problem. Same previous problem we considered, except second bus is PV bus. This is the change for this problem. We are considering that second bus is PV bus. As it is PV bus, voltage is to be given. That voltage is here is 1.04 PV. It is not clear here. So take this as V2, second bus voltage equal to 1.04 PV. So second bus PV bus means P and V are given, should be given. P is already given in the table, it is available. Now instead of Q, what is given? V is given. Take that V is given, and that is equal to 1.04. And also at that second bus, generator bus, limits for reactive power are given. Two cases are given. We first consider this case. That is, limits are like this. You see, Q2. Minimum limit is 0.2, maximum limit is 1. After this, we will go for this next case. First of all, for this problem, this is the limits. Okay. Same previous problem. First bus is slack bus. Second bus is previously load bus, but now this is PV bus or generator bus. So therefore P and V are given. P is already given, and now V is given as V2 equal to 1.04, and also reactive power limits are given. These are the reactive power limits. So that is. Now what? For this generator bus, second bus, let delta 2 equal to 0. This is not given. We have to assume initial value. 1 plus J0 means angle is 0. So for this also, delta 2 bus voltage angle of second bus is 0, and bus voltage magnitude is now 1.04 plus J0. As magnitude is given as 1.04 and angle is assumed by us as 0, now total V2 in complex form equal to 1.04 plus J0. So that is the voltage of the second bus. Okay. So what are all the initial assumed values and given values? V1 is slack bus voltage. It is given. That is equal to this 1.04 plus J0. Next, second bus is PV bus now. So therefore P is given 0.05, no change, and V magnitude is given as 1.04. 1.04. So therefore for second bus V2 is 1.04 plus J0. Here angle is 0, that is assumed. Next, third bus as usual, third bus as usual load bus only. So therefore P2 is this, Q2 is this, and V2 is assumed value 1 plus J0. That is. Fourth bus also PQ bus only, no change in that. So therefore P2 is this, Q2 is this, and voltage is again 1 plus J0 for this also, like that. So for load buses, voltage are to be calculated. So first of all we assumed 1 plus J0. For second bus, generator bus, voltage is given but angle is not given. So given voltage is 1.04. As angle is not given, we assumed that is equal to 0, and therefore final value becomes 1.04 plus J0. That is to be understood. These are all the initial assumed values and also given values. They are all useful in calculation of Q and all. Okay. Okay. Now second bus is generator bus. So for that we need to calculate Q2. Q2 is the this formula. If we expand this formula by making I equal to 2, Q2 means I equal to 2, R plus 1 means 1, first iteration. Therefore here R plus 1 is 1 and here R equal to 0. So like that we can expand this equation. If you expand it, this will be of this shape. All initial assumed values and given values can be substituted. If we substitute, this is the case. And if we calculate here within the parenthesis, this will be the solution. And we need Q, that is Q means imaginary part of this. Q means here, it is the Q, this is P, this is Q. We need Q, therefore imaginary part. So that is equal to this. So this is equal to 0.201 or 6, like it's not clear, 0.207. This is 0.2079 per unit. So what is the value we obtained? 0.2079. This is the value. Now what I said, if limits are given, we have to check this value is within the limits or not. You see, limits are given as minimum limit 0.2, maximum limit 1. And our calculated value is 0.207. What it means? It is within the limits. That is more than this value. That means this side, this side, within the limits. So no problem. Within the limits means we can take this value, obtain our obtained value is this. We can take this value for Q2, and what we have to do now, this Q2 value is to be substituted in the voltage equation for determination of angle. Here also angle means this is imaginary part, but the voltage equation is this. Already we did for load buses. In that voltage equation, substitute obtained value here and execute this equation. If you do so, you will get this. In that, angle means put it in polar form, we will get the angle 1.8 something, we will get the angle. So that is the angle. Note that for second bus, magnitude, voltage magnitude is given 1.04. Angle we now calculated. Use that angle here and express this V2 in as complex form. So finally this is the value of V2. So like that, as second bus is generator bus, we first calculate Q2, checked it for the limits, it is within the limits. So therefore Q2 value is taken as obtained value, used that value in calculation of angle of bus voltage. After getting that angle of bus voltage, we express finally the bus voltage. So now V2 is this. So bus 2 generator bus is over and we get V2. Now V3 and V4 are load buses only. If it is load bus, we have to calculate its voltage and angle. For that, the procedure is same as that of the previous one. Use the voltage expression, substitute the corresponding value. You see here V2, for V2 we can substitute this value. For V1 constant, slack bus voltage always constant 1 plus 0. And V4, we don't know the value of V4 till now. So therefore substitute the fresh value, that means assumed value 1 plus J0. Calculate all the things. You will get V3. Now finally V4. V4 is this. Same thing. Use this expression. V4, get this value. So like that, this is the procedure for both load buses and generator buses are present. This is the most general case. If load bus is there, calculate V and angle. If it is there, if we face the generator bus, find Q and delta. That is the case. Now, as I said, we will case we will consider another case of q limits. For example, now let the minimum limit is 0.25 instead of 0.2 as in the first case. Take this as 0.25. We'll see what happens. So if that is the limit, you see the calculated value of q2 is, we just now calculate its value is 0.2079. 0.2079. Now for example, if minimum limit is 0.25, what it represents? Our calculated value is 0.207, that is less than this limit, that is this side, outside the limits, less than 0.25. What it means? Minimum limit is violated. Minimum limit is violated. So what we have to do, as I said, as minimum limit is violated, forget about the calculated value. Forget about this 0.2079. Set q2 equal to violated limit. This is the violated 0.25. So q2 equal to 0.25. And treat that bus as load bus. Remember, load bus, not generator bus. So as it is load bus, calculate bus voltage. For bus voltage, we have to use this equation. Calculate bus voltage by treating q2 value equal to 0.25. So you will get bus voltage and angle from this. So this is the value of V2 now. V3 is as usual, calculate. V4 also calculate. So like that we have to proceed if the limits are violated. For that iteration only. In the next iteration, same thing we have to repeat. In the next iteration, it may happen that the limits may come within the limits. The value of q may come inside the limits. In that case, we again can take that bus as PV bus and proceed. So like that we have to take. So that is the process or procedure for Gauss-Seidel method when all the buses are present. There are some other problems, you can easily check it out, the problems. And this is the flow chart. This is very important. Whatever the steps that we have seen in algorithm and in problem are given in the form of flow chart. This is also useful. So that is about the Gauss-Seidel method and also the end of unit 3. In the unit 4, we have to see another method of load flow, that is Newton-Raphson method. That we will see in the next lecture. Thank you for now.